Hi everyone, welcome to G9ija TV, the NewsScope. My name is Olatunde, and today we have a couple of news that I would just like to talk about briefly. One of the first things that we're going to talk about is something that happened in Lagos today. There's been a spate of buildings collapsing and all in Lagos State especially. Well, another one took place today, and we've actually got that on video that we can actually share with you. Sometimes when they ask um, most buildings, for instance, if they've been marked as having this distress, so they will inform the landlord or the people living there to leave. But most people will just stay there and will just refuse to leave. Then they are wondering, then when they lose their lives, then it's a bit like, oh, the government is not doing enough. But when what it takes for to actually deal with this, is being marked, just follow the official advice and leave. If you're alive, you're able to get somewhere else, live somewhere else. Anyway, well, this is the picture of the building itself. So you can see it's somewhere in Orile, like they said. There was a palpable tension as two-story building collapsed on Amusu Street in the Orile Igamu area of Lagos State. The incidents, which occurred on Monday morning, so that's today actually. So a shocking video circulating on social media captured the terrifying moment a building collapsed, sending people basically scampering for their lives. So the footage shows individuals scrambling to get to safety as the structure suddenly crumbles, unleashing a cloud of dust and debris. However, a statement by the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASIMA, response team said no casualties were recorded during the incident. LASIMA head of public affairs, Mr. Nosa Okubo, confirmed the collapse in an official statement. Cause of the self collapse building was attributed to distress, as further information gathered from LABSCA at incident scene revealed that occupants of the collapsed building had been served notice to quit by LABSCA as being distressed, but some occupants remain recalcitrant, he said. Further assessment has been conducted at the scene on the adjoining two-story building, which revealed that the building was distressed and uninhabitable for occupants. All occupants in the said building have been evacuated from the distressed building for safety reasons. He said emergency officials from LASIMA, LRU, Pre-Hospital Care Unit, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, police personnel, among others, were on ground to handle the situation. So here we got the video of the incident. Let's see if we can get that. Wow. Just imagine that. Wow. So you can imagine, this is not, I mean, thank God, it's actually reported that nobody lost their lives. So, which is actually great, but then, this sort of thing, I think the government have to take, stronger measures. Really, they have to take stronger measures in dealing with situations like this. Seriously. So the next one we've got, it's this has to do with a report that the World Bank actually gave about the physical situation in Nigeria, and it's not good. It's not really good at all. Let me just share this very quickly. So I think we should almost look at this. It says Nigeria must sustain 15 years of reforms to ensure impact. The World Bank has stated that Nigeria must maintain its ongoing economic reform for the next 10 to 15 years to establish itself as a leading economic power, not only in sub-Saharan Africa, but also on the global stage. These reforms, according to the bank, are crucial for ensuring sustainable growth and development, allowing Nigeria to compete with other emerging economies worldwide. the senior vice president of the World Bank, Indemigil, gave this advice during the ongoing 30th Nigerian Economic Summit, organized by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group and the Ministry of Budgets and National Planning on Monday in Abuja. The 3-day event is themed Collaborative Action for Growth, Competitiveness and Stability. Nigeria is currently grappling with high inflation rate of 32.15%, largely driven by the removal of the fuel subsidy, which has increased transportation and production costs. Additionally, the unification of the foreign exchange market has led to significant fluctuations in currency value, further increasing the cost of goods and services across the country, contributing to a high cost of living. In his welcome, in his welcome, uh, in his welcome address, Gill said the reforms implemented by the current administration must continue to reverse the loss of 10 trillion enjoyed by the elite through fuel subsidies and multiple foreign exchange rates. He noted that while implementing these reforms will be challenging, it is essential to persevere. Jill stated Nigeria will need to stay the course of current economic reforms for at least the next 10 to 15 years to transform its economy. Wow. How would people be able to stay the course? I get it that things like this will need to actually deal with it, but the situation needs to be dealt with, but it must be implemented in such a way that certain safeguards must be put in place, so that to sort of alleviate the pain of this reform. Because quite frankly, even though that the government has come up with 70,000 naira minimum wage, the truth of it is that that minimum wage itself does not really cover anything, hardly covers anything. When it was mentioned, then shortly after, the price of petrol at the pump increased, so thereby making a nonsense of the minimum wage itself. So and now we are being told that this is going to, at least Nigeria has to sustain this for the next 10 to 15 years. Like, seriously? After being momentarily interrupted by a negative reaction from the audience, he continued, I don't know if you are agreeing or disagreeing with me. If these reforms are sustained, Nigeria will transform its economy and become an engine of growth in the sub-Saharan Africa. It's very difficult to implement such reforms, but the reward will be massive if they are maintained, he added. You know what my actual issue with this is? The issue I actually have with this is the fact that corruption is the key that is there. Corruption is the key. That is the issue. You can have all these great ideas, reforms, and all that, but for it to be effective, corruption needs to be dealt with. You cannot have a successful economic reform without dealing with corruption. It will make a nonsense out of it. So don't let anybody be fooled. Yes, I understand where Mr. Gill is coming from the World Bank, but you need to look at it right. If the situation on the ground in relation to corruption is not dealt with, look, we're just messing around. We're just punishing people unnecessarily. Yes, there must be a reform. I agree. I'm on board with that. But alongside this, it must be hand in glove. There must be initiatives to actually deal with corruption so that this can be sustainable, so that the initiative can be successful. But it's not going to be. As long as there is corruption, it's not going to work. It's not going to. Everyone is just talking about the situation being, you're having all this seminar, all this 3 days special economic forum. The forum that Nigeria needs the most is war against corruption. That is the key one that we need in the country. Without it, we're just we're just blowing hot winds. Or like they say in Nigeria, that is just load of hot air. Reform is necessary, but without removing this thing, this cancer of corruption, it's not going to work. Nigerians won't see the positive impact except we deal with corruption. So there you have it. So moving swiftly on. Now there's this, the Nigeria has three main regions, and then we have one of the emirate rulers actually saying that the North must prepare for a possible separation. Look at it this way. It says Professor Sani Abubakar Luga, the fifth Wazir in Katsina, has called on the northern region to unite and prepare for self-determination, much like their southern counterparts. Speaking at a community engagement event organized by the Coalition of Northern Group in Katsina, Luga stressed the need for Northerners to brace themselves for the possibility of separation from Nigeria, reflecting on the persistent call for secession from the South. Luga lamented the lack of unity among Northerners in defending their sorry about that in defending their rights, contrasting it with the determination of groups like the Biafrans. He urged the North to learn from the proactive measures taken by southern states, particularly in addressing security challenges. He noted that while the security situation in the South is less severe, they have formed regional security forces like Amotekun, while the North remains passive. Don't the North actually have the JTF, Joint Task Force? I don't think that's entirely true. So please, if anybody can confirm that, so please put it in the comment section. But I think we have the JTF in the North, and they've been operating long before the South actually come up with their own similar groups formation. Referencing historical concern, Luga highlighted the apprehension of early Nigerian leaders about the amalgamation of the North and South, a union that he argued remains fragile. He warned that without preparation, the North could struggle to survive should the South succeed in breaking away. CNG National Coordinator Jamilu Charanchi also emphasized the urgency of communication-led actions to address Nigerian socio-economics and security challenges. He criticized the country leadership for prioritizing elections over the nation's future and urged communities to take charge of their destiny through collective action. Well, I think the only thing I actually have, the problems I have with this is that, honestly, in the Union of Nigeria, the North has been the one that's always had the upper hand. They've been the main primary beneficiary of the benefits of the statehood of Nigeria. They have been the people at the forefront. Absolutely. All you have to look at is, if you look at from the inception of Nigeria, from right from the onset, I think we've had more Northerners who have actually ruled Nigeria. And when you look at the actual gains in terms of federal appointments and all, the Northerners, the North has always had the lion's share. And it's one of the reasons why I've always said that, if we are really serious about the statehood, the co-federation of Nigeria, that we need to make sure that the all the three regions are proportionally represented. That is, the Igbos, the Yorubas, and the North, the Hausa Fulani. We definitely, there has to be that, even though that right now, there seems, there will be, we have like this unwritten agreement, which is, power shift from the North to the South, just like President Buhari has been president for 8 years. Now he has left. Now we have President Ahmed Tinubu. So now, then what happened when, say, the 8 years that they're expecting? That's what I'm assuming anyway. So for 8 years of Tinubu, then what will happen after? We'll go back to the North. What about the Southeast? What about the Igbos themselves? So are they not part of the statehood? Unfortunately, I just feel that the Southeast has not really helped its cause by not being, truly united to present a common front where they can make their demand, assert themselves, and take their rightful place. That is what the Southeast needs to actually do. The Igbos, that is what they need to do. It's for that reason that you have a lot of, because during the past election, during the presidential election in Lagos, there was a lot of, in fact, the majority of Yorubas that supported the Igbo candidacy was quite evident, because Peter Obi definitely won in Lagos State. He did. Which actually goes to show that, people are looking for equity and fairness. So what this gentleman is talking about is that I thought he would be talking about what are the things that we need to actually ensure that let's assess the situation on the ground. Why is that each region is asking to break up? Because we are stronger together. That's my belief. I'm a nationalist. And I believe that when Nigeria actually stands together, we can do great things. But when we have people who are saying, "Oh, let me fight my corner," I don't, I'm just asking the question: what sort of vision do they have? It doesn't really help where we have the political situation in Nigeria whereby it's not of servitude, but is of should I say rulership. The people there are actually, all they are looking for is for people to serve them. It's supposed to be the other way around. They are supposed to serve the people, servant of the people. That is what democracy is. Government of the people, by the people. It is not a backroom way for the people to now, for the people to serve the politicians. So I think that's what we should be doing, to actually look for what is it, what is that, what are the issues that, okay, let's ask the South, the Biafrans. And then we have people are agitating for, the Oduduwa nation as well. So we should be asking them that, what are those things that they feel that, what are their concerns? Can those concerns be addressed? Those are the things that needs to be done. We need to address such situation, not just disparaging them and just saying they are not, or just sending security services to start shooting them and stuff like that. It's not going to work. Regardless of, even though I do not agree with our secessionists, I still feel that they need to be listened to, and to find out that, okay, these are the issues they've actually, they've come up with. So how do we address those issues? Everywhere. So, with Professor Sani Abubakar now, or Luga, saying pretty much the same thing, that, did not shoot. So basically saying Arewa should try and, I don't know if the Northerners really, really want to, but the truth of the matter is that I think the call has been loudest in the Southeast and the Southwest. Right. So I think the next, I think I have one more to go. Right. So this is like, no, I think I've got two more to go. So what I've got here is a picture of, can I put it? Let me just see. They were selling fish head and people were rushing it. Said a lady actually shared this story on Ireland, and he said, lady shocked as she sees people struggling to buy head of fish. Wow. Nigerian lady takes to TikTok to share her shock after she saw people jostling to buy only the head of fish. According to her, it is currently the cheapest, and the carton goes for 18,000. So these women buy and share it amongst themselves. What is that state of affairs? What is that state of affairs? This is, you can see the different prices here. 10 kg, 27,000. Fish head, croaker. We have Titus, Nigerian chicken. Come on, this is totally, it's unbelievable. I'm sure we can see this. We can see this. The government needs to actually put some alleviation program in place, not just, because each time we say they are doing palliatives, it's you always see it in the back room of some warehouse of some godfather somewhere. And so it makes a nonsense of, the palliative or projects. It doesn't really impact because it's not being distributed the way they said they were going to do it. There are people that were, because I remember during COVID time, the palliatives, they were giving people like, piecemeal, just a handful were being handed. After it was in my area, people were rejecting it. They just rejected it, just said they don't want it. They said, yes, we want food, but what is this? This cannot be the, so you could tell that the people who were saddled with the responsibility of distributing these palliatives, they've kept them back. So they were just giving people bits and pieces at such a crucial time, It's a very terrible state of affair. I mean, just imagine that. That's it. Head of fish. That normally I think they will give to cats. God help Nigeria. So sugar rights. So the last bit, it's I don't like this website. It has all this it has all this pop-up, all this weird looking pop-up there. Oh great. I'm not sure if I actually want to do this. This is just yeah, okay. I think I will talk about this one here. This is about Seun Kuti after he discovered the term T-pain. And let's just watch the video that we can round up with that. That he didn't know exactly what T-pain. He thought it was there's this American artist I think called T-pain. So he thought because he just saw that people slide into his comment section on his video blog, and they were just talking about T-pain. So he felt that, oh, did something happen to him that is his main guy, and so until he was told that what are you talking about? We're talking about a different thing entirely. You're talking about your so let's watch this. Right. There you go.
Seun Kuti was on Instagram Live and he noticed a lot of people were complaining about T-pain under his comment section. Seun Kuti thought that something had happened to the American singer until a fan pointed out to him that T-pain is actually Tinubu. Check it out.
Between enemies and allies. Seun, you see this T-pain. What happened to T-pain? Maybe I cannot do anything to my guy. T-pain, apart from Bartender and Stripper, which was my song of the 2010s, T-pain has one of the greatest quotes in the history of music. T-pain say, how can musicians make money today? There are more musicians on Spotify than cheers. I mean, if you don't know how deep that is, there are more musicians than cheers. They will not pass our audience. The numbers of musicians working is now more greater than the audience that want to watch us. Oh, Nigeria said T-pain that I've been out of Nigeria too long. Never have me now. Kilo Shelley. Anyway now. Yeah, T-pain. Oh, that Tinubu need that.
So this was where he now realized that they were not talking about the American artist. That they were talking about that's the nickname, for each president that have always been, each Nigerian administration, they've always had the name. Buhari was known as Baba Gosu.
Nigeria is my Yahweh. Every my Yahweh, he only control more. He will refer my Yahweh. Èmi tẹ́lẹ̀ pé akíní T-pain tún ṣe báyìí kó fi T-pain tèmi lẹ̀ o. I'm not involved. Yes, so
he said he was wondering why they were saying T-pain, that he was wondering whether T-pain has had
just
an
1
issue.
week tí mo fi yín lẹ̀. 1 week tí mo fi yín lẹ̀ ti yà wèrè. You see, this is why this government don't know. They have to be paying me. I mean, won't keep everybody sane. The thing Seun Kuti is the crazy one. I mean, won't keep everybody sane and alive. 1 week, T-pain, T-pain. Jojo. They say if I don't tell you that before for this life. I don't tell you that before. See, if they kill me, ancestors say, sure, you are going back. Where do you want to go back to? I will talk to Nigeria. Yalaya. I'm back, y'all. Because I go there for this world now. I'm not going to say, you don't give our president T-Pay. I mean, we are.
But even the first time myself I heard this T-Pain joke, oh boy, laugh won't kill me there. Anyways, I'm curious to know what you guys think about the video so far. Please drop a comment in the comment section below so we can interact. And please, if you're new to the channel,
so there, you have it, folks. So this is just basically what it is. It was just mainly the fact that you know, they're talking about how they are feeling. You know, I said it the other day that what Nigerians, what we normally do is that when the situation comes up like this, we always look for a name to associate something with. So unfortunately, this has always been where we look at the president and we look at what is happening. Then we just attach a name. So I don't even know where that name came from, you know. So if you know, put it in the comment section. Anyway, thank you, folks. I just want to say good night, and same time tomorrow, G9ija NewsScope. We'll be back again, and then hopefully I'll be here with my co-host Akin. So he's not here today. So just want to say thank you, good night, and God bless. I'll see you again tomorrow.